Good Monday, everyone. This is meteorologist Dave Snyder at the National Weather Service with Alaska's statewide weather. A 974 storm force low sitting out in the western Bering. A lot of gales moving up toward the west coast, and it looks like the wind will be spreading through the Bering Strait as we head through tonight. With that, a healthy amount of warnings and watches for the west coast, starting with the Yukon Delta and the Norton Sound region. A coastal flood watch will start tomorrow. Yukon Delta may see areas around the region and low-lying villages with 4 feet above normal highest tide. That means water could be coming up a lot higher than it has been in recent days, so be prepared for that. High surf advisories are posted for the southern Seward Peninsula. That includes Nome and the eastern sections of Norton Sound. Rough surf is expected in those areas again for noon Tuesday through noon on Wednesday. A look further north where the cold and the wet weather meets up. We're talking about winter storm warnings for the interior of the Seward Peninsula. 2 to 4 inches of snow there with higher amounts near 12 starting around midnight. The lower Kobuk and Noatak valleys could see as much as 4 to 7 inches with some isolated amounts near 14. Also expecting some stronger gusts up to 35 miles per hour in there. That's for the lower Kobuk and Noatak valleys. For areas around the Baldwin Peninsula, we're expecting 2 to 4 inches with as much as 8 inches of snow in some isolated cases. Gusts to 45 miles per hour possible there. The Chukchi Coast, 1 to 3, 7 inches of snow possible with gusts to 40 miles per hour. Your winter storm warning starts around 6 o'clock in the morning. The upper Kobuk and Noatak valleys generally northwest of Ambler. Not as much wind. That's good news there. 1 to 3 inches of snow with isolated amounts as high as 15. That will last until 6 o'clock on Wednesday morning. So wind and snow primarily for the west and northwestern coastlines. Along the coastline, don't be surprised to run into periods of rain mixed with snow, maybe a little bit of freezing rain as well, as conditions are still fairly mild there, and most of the water is certainly not frozen. Now we are seeing some new ice in protected areas of Norton Bay, which is in the upper end of Norton Sound, of course. And along protected regions across the northwest coast, new ice has been forming, but that has not been a very fast process, especially as more wind is moving in. Another storm moving into the western Bering at 988 millibars will usher in another round of late week wind and weather. Across the Gulf of Alaska, not to be forgotten, southeast looking at more wind and higher seas as we get into the end of the week with wet weather moving in. With Alaska's statewide weather, this is meteorologist Dave.